Not so long ago, Shiba Inu underwent a complete transformation. It was completely unexpected. Recently, Donald Trump has just revealed the most shocking revelation of the year. One of the rules that every cryptocurrency despises has been overturned. There will no longer be any control on Shiba Inu. Analysts are engaging in conjecture. In the end, would this be enough to convince Shiba Inu to get rid of a few zeros? On the other hand, is this otherwise? Please allow me to elaborate. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. A significant revelation that was made by Donald Trump not too long ago is already causing a stir across the world. He said that he intends to entirely do away with a government regulation that is disliked by everyone in the cryptocurrency field. This regulation has been a source of frustration for investors for some time now. At this point, it is possible that it is on its way out. At first, folks were perplexed by the situation. To put it another way, what exactly does this have to do with Shiba Inu? But let me tell you something. There is a possibility that it is fully connected to it. Mainly due to the fact that doing rid of this regulation would really make it possible for a great deal more investors to put their money into Shiba Inu. Take note of this. The Shiba Inu is not only a stray coin that may be found on the sidelines here. In all honesty, it is in the ideal position to reap the benefits of this endeavor. Almost as if it had been put there on purpose. Undoubtedly, a significant event is taking on at this same now. Additionally, in a moment, we are going to go over all of the delicious information that have been uncovered. Still, let's get the most important item out of the way first. As of late, the price of Shiba Inu has been quite erratic. It is possible that this is due to the announcement made by Trump. There was a constant fluctuation in the pricing throughout the whole day. However, by the time the day was over, it had really ended up being a positive outcome. In addition, this alone is providing the people with a genuine feeling of optimism. A single expert even went so far as to publicly state that Shiba Inu is now occupying a position of utmost significance. As far as he is concerned, it is positioned precisely close to a significant level, a threshold that, if breached, has the potential to initiate a significant bullish breakout. And in the event that this occurs, it is possible that Shiba Inu may attempt to sell their dogs at a much higher price. To begin, everyone is holding their breath in anticipation of achieving the next milestone. In addition, if the momentum continues, it is possible that we may even push deeper into the next major zone. Here comes the most exciting part. This is only one of the repercussions that we are seeing as a result of the statement made by Trump. Now, each and every one of us is ecstatic. And what exactly is the purpose of this Donald Trump news? Obviously, in what is obviously a momentous occasion for the cryptocurrency industry, Donald Trump has just signed the very first crypto-specific measure into law. The new regulation entirely eliminates a restriction that a great number of individuals in the cryptocurrency industry greatly detested. In essence, it attempted to handle decentralized finance, often known as DeFi, as if it were overseen by conventional financial institutions. Decentralized finance platforms were required to behave in a manner similar to that of brokers, which meant that they were required to gather personal information, monitor deals, and report everything to the authorities. But here is where the issue lies. With DeFi, there are no intermediaries. This is a permissionless and open system. Indeed, it is the essence of the matter. Are you attempting to pack it into a mold that was designed for banks? Simply put, it did not fit. Also, to tell you the truth, it frightened away a lot of folks. It was even broken down by Lucy, who is the chief marketer for Shiba Inu. She said that this regulation was a significant one, particularly with regard to the future of DeFi. Developers and even basic websites would have been required to behave in a manner similar to those of regulated organizations. Tracking deals and collecting names on trades. Adhering to regulations that are not compatible with the way that DeFi operates. There is a rationale to people's concerns. With the implementation of that regulation, open-source crypto applications could have become something they were never intended to be. But it is no longer there. And can you guess who stands to gain the most from this situation? The Shiba Inu. As a cryptocurrency, Shiba Inu is one among those that has received a significant number of DeFi projects. Keep in mind that SHIBASWAP was instrumental in putting it on the globe. Moreover, we now have Karma points, which have just been introduced and are already attracting a lot of attention. It is a system that provides users with prizes for participating. Do you mean anything like that? It is very effective in attracting new investors. The Shiba Inu now has a great deal more space to move about in. It is not simply about what has already been constructed, rather it is about what can be constructed in the future. This paves the way for new upgrades, new tools, and new features, all of which may be implemented without the need to worry about being caught up in the bureaucratic traps of the government. And that's a huge win-win situation. If the developers are allowed to create, what about the community? With all of that innovation, we are able to reap the benefits. Think about how rapidly Shiba Inu can now push out new features and improvements. Whether it's increasing the amount of Shibarium, removing unnecessary utilities, or improving the incentives for staking, the alternatives have just become far more extensive. In addition, you are aware that when new upgrades begin to be released, the enthusiasm quickly spreads across this community. There is a single item that can be derived from all of this. There is a strong possibility that Shiba Inu will make a move. Given that the wind is finally blowing in its favor, as a result of this declaration made by Trump, we could be getting ready for a significant increase in prices. Perhaps you could even get rid of a couple of those zeros that each and every person keeps talking about. And we have come upon it previously. Shiba Inu have a tendency to move quickly after significant upgrades. When it comes to cryptocurrency, this is not just another day. And just like that, the excitement within the group got absolutely insane. And even financiers are doing the arithmetic, physically bringing out calculators, in an attempt to determine the precise number of Shiba Inu they would want in order to realize their goal of $1 million. It seems as if everyone is trying to get their hands on that golden number, and with all of this excitement, who can blame them? It has been reported by Crypto Basic that experts working for Changelly believe that the price of Shiba Inu might reach a much greater level by the conclusion of the year 2028. Additionally, prior to that, in the month of May, a market analyst who goes by the name Big Mike proposed that Shiba Inu may perhaps reach an even more absurd level. For a considerable amount of time, a great number of individuals have been clinging to the dream that their Shiba Inu luggage would one day be worth a cool $1 million. Another thing to consider is that they have been calculating the figures. If Shiba Inu really reaches that more realistic long-term estimate, then you would need around 11 billion coins in order to make your goal of earning $1 million come true. On the other hand, if it were to reach Big Mike's more ambitious aim, only around 2 billion would be plenty. It may seem like a lot, but considering that the price of a Shiba Inu is still at an all-time low, it is surprisingly feasible to make an investment of that magnitude. If you were to seize that 11 billion right now, it would cost you a little more than $100,000. It is not a little amount of money, but if the cost reaches the level that was anticipated, it may become $1 million. Also, for those who are hoping for a better price forecast, you have the opportunity to purchase 2 billion coins for less than $25,000. In the event that that audacious prediction comes true, we are talking about a profit that is almost unimaginable. Simply said, this demonstrates how seriously individuals are taking the momentum that is being produced by Trump. There is something that has to be taken into consideration, but wait on before we all get too caught up in the excitement. In the realm of cryptocurrencies, it is like fireworks whenever a significant update such as this statement made by Trump is released. Everyone is either very bullish or trying to get in on the action as the excitement begins to take hold and emotions begin to run high. However, here is the catch. Times like these are also the times when the shady people come out to play at the table. Consequently, the Shiba Inu development team took action and communicated with the community by means of a message. Just a friendly reminder to maintain your defenses up and your eyes alert at all times. This information was really sent out by Lucy, who is the head marketing for Shiba Inu. She emphasized how essential it is to think independently while dealing with cryptography, to think for yourself, to make your own decisions, and to not expect anybody to lead you like a nanny. For the reason that the moment you begin to believe that somebody else is going to guide you through everything, you are already one step closer to being taken advantage of by a con artist. Lucy didn't paint a pretty picture. She said that cryptocurrency is not a secure and sheltered playground. The speed is quick, the roughness is harsh, and yes, it does not apologize. If you make a mistake, it will cost you a lot of money. You are about to learn a lesson, and it is expected to be painful. What's more, no one owes you assistance in any way. Someone does not owe you advice. Even more, she included something that was both humorous and genuine. Okay, if you're still trying to figure out what's going on, if you really must, you should establish your very own cryptographic kindergarten. Nevertheless, avoid defrauding individuals along the way. Maintain your integrity, maintain your curiosity, and continue to educate yourself. Undoubtedly, this very time is really thrilling. However, be sure that your judgment is not clouded by the excitement. Keep your wits about you, make sure you're secure, and remain committed to the quest. On the other hand, when one considers the wider picture, the future of Shiba Inu seems to be more promising than it has ever been. Things are progressing at the rate that they are. These improvements, the expansion of the ecosystem, and announcements like as this one are more important than news. It seems as if a significant structure is being constructed right in front of us. Moreover, it is not only hype. In a tweet that she sent out not so long ago, Lucy said it herself. It was said by her that Shiba Inu is doing well, that the reversal is going to bring about a rapid change in the situation. Aside from that, have a look at the current state of affairs. Presently, that is the present valuation. When compared to what this initiative is truly doing, it is a tiny number. There are some individuals that are asleep, not paying attention to what is going on. Which ones, however, are they? They are aware of what is impending. They are keeping a close eye on how all the indications align. Mostly due to the fact that Shiba Inu hardly ever sits motionless. It is being developed. It is constructing. Things are changing. Shibarium is seeing expansion. Tools, technologies, and ideas are being distributed by the team. Is it the community, continuing to be one of the most powerful available? Furthermore, now that the pressure from those outdated restrictions has been reduced, there is a lot of leeway to breathe. To answer your question, yes, it may not seem to be an explosive moment right now. However, underneath it, there is a warming up of the engine. Energy is beginning to build up. There is already a solid framework in place. It is possible that when the transition occurs, it will be one of those times that people will eventually look back on and say, that was it. In that moment, the tide began to change. Therefore, you shouldn't let it go to sleep, for the reason why Shiba Inu is not yet finished. We are just getting started with it. However, what are your thoughts on this matter? Leave a comment down below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.